Have you ever been in a situation where someone is trying to provoke you, manipulate you, or even belittle and insult you? It can be incredibly frustrating and challenging to keep your composure when someone's behavior is designed to push your buttons. Whether it's a coworker who undermines your ideas, a friend who criticizes your choices, or someone who deliberately insults you, these moments can feel like a test of your patience and emotional strength. The immediate urge is often to react, defend yourself, retaliate, or express your frustration. But what if you could stop yourself from reacting in these moments? In this video, we're diving into how to develop the power of not reacting when someone tries to provoke you, manipulate you, or insult you. Imagine not being affected by other people's negativity or bad behavior and being able to stay calm, grounded, and centered no matter what's happening around you. Let's explore how you can turn that power into your reality, creating a stronger, more resilient you who remains unshaken in the face of adversity. Developing the power to not react to anger, narcissistic behavior, challenges, worry, and bad moods is challenging but achievable with consistent practice. Here's a guide to help you stay centered and calm in these situations. 1. Understand the source and nature of anger or negativity. Why it's essential. Recognizing that when people express anger, especially those with narcissistic tendencies, it often stems from their own internal issues rather than your actions helps you detach emotionally. Narcissistic individuals may seek to control others or project their insecurities, making their anger more about their own frustrations than about anything you've done. This realization helps you respond from a place of understanding rather than being caught in the crossfire. Example: imagine a narcissistic colleague who continually criticizes your work in a way that feels personal. Instead of immediately feeling hurt or defensive, remind yourself that their anger likely has more to do with their need for control or their fear of being overshadowed. By recognizing this, you can separate their emotional state from your own, helping you stay calm and not internalize their criticism. 2. Strengthen your sense of self. Why it's essential. The more secure you are in yourself, the less likely you are to react emotionally to external negativity. A solid sense of self-worth means that others' behaviors, whether positive or negative, don't dictate your emotions. This also includes setting healthy boundaries and learning to distance yourself from toxic behaviors, creating an emotional buffer that helps you remain unaffected by external pressures. Example: suppose you're dating someone who frequently belittles your achievements or questions your decisions. Instead of feeling disrespected and retaliating, you remind yourself of your strengths and accomplishments. You might think to yourself, I know my worth, and I don't need their validation to feel good about myself. With this mindset, you can calmly set boundaries with that person, expressing that their comments aren't acceptable without reacting out of frustration. 3. Develop empathy without absorbing emotion. Why it's essential. Empathy is about understanding someone else's emotions without letting them seep into your own emotional state. When you can feel for someone without taking their feelings on yourself, you maintain your inner peace. This allows you to be compassionate and supportive while protecting your own emotional well-being. Example: let's say a close friend is going through a tough breakup and constantly vents their anger and frustration to you. Rather than absorbing their negativity, you acknowledge their pain, saying, I understand how frustrating that must be for you, but refrain from letting their anger influence your mood. This way, you offer them empathy without becoming emotionally involved, helping them feel heard without compromising your peace. 4. Practice grounding techniques to stay centered. Why it's essential. Grounding exercises can quickly bring you back to the present moment when you're about to react impulsively. They help you calm your mind and body, making it easier to respond rationally and thoughtfully rather than emotionally. When facing a challenge, staying grounded prevents you from becoming overwhelmed by the situation. Example: if you're in a tense conversation with someone who's trying to provoke you, try grounding yourself by focusing on your breath. Slowly inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, then exhale for 4. This simple practice helps shift your focus away from the trigger and back to a place of calm, allowing you to respond in a measured way instead of escalating the situation. 5. Remind yourself of your own values. Why it's essential. Focusing on your values helps you maintain integrity in the face of negativity. When you are clear about how you want to act and what you stand for, you are less likely to react impulsively to others' behavior. By staying aligned with your principles, you ensure that your actions reflect who you are, not who others want you to be. Example: let's say a person with narcissistic tendencies tries to manipulate you into doing something that goes against your values. Instead of giving in or reacting angrily, pause and remind yourself of your core principles, like honesty or respect. You might calmly respond, "I understand your request, but I don't think that aligns with my values and I need to decline." This helps you stay true to yourself without engaging in unnecessary conflict. 6. Learn to recognize and disengage from narcissistic manipulation. Why it's essential. Narcissistic individuals often use manipulative tactics such as guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or trying to provoke a reaction in you to gain control. Recognizing these behaviors early helps you disengage without getting emotionally caught up. When you understand that their actions are about their insecurities or need for control, you can avoid reacting to them and stay centered in your own response. Example: if a narcissistic family member accuses you of being selfish for not attending every family event, recognize that their need for control is behind the accusation, not a genuine concern for your well-being. Instead of defending yourself, you might calmly say, "I have my own responsibilities that require my time, and I can't make it this time." This allows you to disengage without fueling their manipulation. 7. Focus on the bigger picture in challenging situations. Why it's essential. When faced with challenges, whether from people or situations, focusing on the bigger picture helps you avoid overreacting to the immediate stress. By keeping a long-term perspective, you reduce the emotional intensity of the situation, remembering that this too shall pass and that there is always room for growth. Example: suppose you lose your job unexpectedly and it triggers feelings of panic. Instead of reacting out of fear, remind yourself that this moment is just one chapter of your life. You might reflect on your career goals and use the time to pursue a better opportunity or even learn new skills. By focusing on the future, you avoid making rash decisions out of immediate frustration. 8. Let go of worry by practicing acceptance. Why it's essential. Worry often stems from trying to control things that are beyond our control. Learning to accept uncertainty allows you to release this mental burden. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. Rather, it means focusing on the things you can control and letting go of the need to control everything, which reduces the emotional grip of worry. Example: if you're worrying about an upcoming presentation, instead of spiraling into anxiety, remind yourself that you've prepared as much as you can, and now it's time to trust yourself. You can choose to focus on how you'll manage the day and perform well rather than letting the fear of failure paralyze you. 9. Find a healthy outlet for stress or negative energy. Why it's essential. Holding on to negative energy, such as stress, frustration, or worry, can cause you to react impulsively when interacting with others. Finding healthy outlets like exercise, journaling, or creative hobbies allows you to process these emotions and prevent them from influencing your responses. Example: after a stressful day at work, instead of taking your frustration out on your partner or friends, go for a run or engage in a hobby you enjoy. These activities help you release built-up tension, leaving you feeling more balanced and less likely to react negatively in future situations. 10. Practice the power of the pause regularly. Why it's essential. Pausing before reacting is one of the most effective ways to break the automatic cycle of emotional reaction. By creating a moment of stillness, you allow yourself the space to choose a more thoughtful, intentional response. Example: the next time you feel provoked in a conversation, pause for a few seconds before responding. During that pause, take a deep breath, center yourself, and think about how you want to respond. This pause will give you time to process the situation, leading to a more composed response instead of an impulsive one. In summary, developing the power not to react to anger, narcissistic behavior, challenges, worry, and bad moods is about creating space between yourself and the source of these feelings. By practicing self-awareness, grounding techniques, and intentionality, you can build resilience to external influences. This resilience helps you remain calm, focused, and true to your values, leading to a more peaceful and empowered life. Reminder: if you found these strategies helpful, Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content on how to master emotional control and live a more centered life.